And with that entrance or introduction, I welcome you to another segment of Made in Japan. And the intro that you just saw was for a game called Yatagarasu. And essentially, if you know what KOF is, King of Fighters, and if you know any other kind of fighting games such as Street Fighter, which would be a close second, um, then you pretty much let me get out of there. Pretty much, this is like an offshoot of King of Fighters, let's say. I believe it's three ex-workers who used to do King of Fighters actually worked on this game, and so this is the product that we get. Heavily influenced by King of Fighters, but you can also make some other comparisons with Street Fighter as well, just with the characters. And one thing I'd like to note is that if you do buy this game, it can be a little hard setting it up at first, depending on the operating system that you have. If you have Windows XP, there is something that you do install, which I can show off very soon. But if you are also doing Windows 7, then that's a different story, really. Took me some time to actually get it working, because otherwise, when you first install the game, pretty much what you see, you'd probably see this, all right. But you also have like the little menu tabs on the top. Usually they show up in Japanese, but if you're using like a US local system, then it'll come up as like really strange characters, and that is also the case. Is also the case right here, like key configurations. The Japanese that you see right here would come out as strange, really strange characters that are nonsensical whatsoever. Um, you're gonna make me okay, there we go. And what's another good thing here? Game options. You go here. Oh my god. Like all this stuff here would be it would all be just like well, it'd just be like strange alien language really. But I'll just leave it here and we'll go over a little bit of the setup. So, here we go. All right, so moving on to the setup segment. Let's just start things here with the user's manual. This is what you would get if you buy the game. Nice little thank you, but it also goes into if you are a Windows XP user, it'll give you this notice here. So because this game is a Japanese program, most likely it's not going to run on a US local or any other operating system that doesn't really understand Unicode. So what they recommend is when you install this game, also install Microsoft App Locale. So this pretty much, and it gives you the link here, but essentially what this will do is it'll make the game run as it should. It'll display correctly the Japanese characters that you need to see, even though there is an English function also. So to each their own, I guess, right? But now that we have the Windows XP configurations all set, which is just downloading that said program, let's move on to Windows 7 now. So, yes, here we go. Alright, so basically, if you are a Windows 7 user and you bought this game, in order to make it so you're able to configure the game so it uh, shows up properly, be sure to go to the clock language and regions section in your control panel. Just go right over here, click on this little header, and it'll bring you to this little menu here. Formats, junk like that. But what you want to do is go to administrative, and right here is the key. Usually, most likely, the current language for non-Unicode programs is going to be USA, or depending on your country, but if you're a US citizen, then most likely it's going to be US. So, what you want to do is go to change system locale, and then you just look for Japanese, press OK, and it's going to ask you to reboot, but you know that you have to do it. But once you are actually able to do this, make a little change, then Yatagarasu will display correctly and problem solved because God knows I kind of scratched my head for quite some time figuring out how to do this. But yeah, it's as easy as making that little change there. So as long as you do that, you shouldn't have any problems in terms of yeah, configuring the game. Now let's get back to the game and show off a little bit of the features, okay? Alright, so I figure before going back to the game itself, there's also some other configurations that should be looked at if you intend on doing network play, or yeah, pretty much just playing people online. There is a launcher that also accompanies the main application icon, or yeah, starting. Essentially, what this box is, it provides pretty much basic information on like, okay, what ports you should have open, your IP address if you're going to be hosting, your uh, your username, that kind of stuff. And it will be kind of important if you want to play people online. So for starters, right on the top here, it's telling you that it needs the ports 50,055 and 50,057 to be opened. Otherwise, shit will happen. So be sure those are opened. And if you intend on hosting a game, then enter your IP address here. Or if you want, you put your host's IP address there if you're joining their game. So you just have to know this stuff in advance, and yeah. And then here, Nama is going to be your username. So if you want to be no name, then that's fine. But you can make it whatever you want. Comments. I think this is user strength or conditions, something like that. Um, let's see what else here. What else here of importance? Um, they go into controls over here. It actually uses the Xbox stick, which is pretty cool. But also here, these two buttons. This is to play the game in windowed mode or to play in full screen mode. And if you do the configurations from before, if you're Windows 7 or Windows XP, full screen mode should work pretty well with no problems. But if you didn't make those configurations, then stuff happens. It just ranks out a lot. But I'll see you in the main game now.